10 Life Lessons You Can Learn from Squid Game. Certainly you have heard about the Korean serial, Squid Game, that has gone viral across the globe and became the first serial to ever achieve such a phenomenal success on Netflix. But have ever tried to puzzle over what can some learn from this serial that is gaining popularity among the young generation? This is what this video tries to show. In a press interview, Dong-hyuk, the director-writer of the serial, stated that, "I wanted to write a story that was an allegory or fable about modern capitalist society, something that depicts an extreme competition, somewhat like the extreme competition of life," he said. "But I wanted it to use the kind of characters we've all met in real life. Thus, the more I thought about the show, the more I realized the lessons embedded within the whole series. It just blows my mind how this serial has been so successful in drawing parallels to our society and makes, like millions around the world, want more. The whole season is a reflection of our society, but in an outlandish, brutally honest way. I thought through every scene which reflected my own life in some areas, and I could not but imagine how many hidden lessons are in this series. There may be hundreds of lessons within the series, and I'd like to highlight the top 10 life lessons I learned from Squid Game. Welcome to Well Life, the best place where successful people come to get inspired. Number 1. Money isn't everything in life. Do you recall the series' final scene? Jae-hun has made the decision to meet his daughter. Until that point, his only goal had been to reunite with his daughter. But then something unusual happened. Jae-hun has witnessed hundreds of deaths right in front of his eyes. During the game, he witnessed the injustice done to hundreds of his comrades. As he prepares to board the plane, he is reminded of his mission, to put an end to the game. Or so I believe. Some of my friends believe otherwise, and that Jae-hun will be in charge of the game's season 2. I believe his goal is to put an end to the Squid Game. And he's willing to sacrifice his desire to see his daughter for the sake of this mission. This means that there will always be priorities in life, and we, as rational beings, should take decisions that result in the promotion of lofty values and everlasting ideals. Number 2. Trust but verify. The most emotional moment in Squid Game occurred when Ali was duped by Chu Sang-woo. Ali had faith in Chu with his marbles, and eventually paid the ultimate price with his life. I recall believing people based on what they told me. I blindly trusted people because of their flair, talk, and charisma. In one case, I invested in a startup after seeing them present at an event and without doing much due diligence. And eventually paid the price. The bottom line here is that appearances are often deceptive, and, therefore, you should always look before you leap. Number 3. The system is rigged. Certainly you have once heard about Shakespeare saying that, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely player. However, there are lucky players who, under different conditions, know more about the game and its internal working. It means that though we are all players, some of us tend to benefit from the rigged system. In Squid Game, we find out about the rigged system near the end of the season. Il-nam was an insider with prior knowledge and information about the game. I believe we encounter this quite frequently in our lives. People who achieve great things in life, and we sometimes wonder how. They are usually insiders or have someone who is an insider in the game being played. Sometimes this is done to gain a competitive advantage, and other times it is done purely for the purpose of cheating. How do you navigate your life when you're up against so many challenges? Number 4. Good luck versus bad luck. Dak Soo-jang, the bad guy, the gangster. He frightened everyone, but I thought he was also fortunate. Do you remember the marbles game? He wasn't the most talented player. He did, however, win and survive for the time being thanks to a stroke of luck. With a little forethought, you can feel lucky in life as well. When opportunity meets preparation, that is when luck strikes. Luck is often the only savior of some rotten apples that disseminate fright like Dak Soo-jang. Number 5. Opportunity knocks again and again. Throughout the first 2 episodes, we see players decide to leave the game through mutual voting. The majority of the players decided to abandon the game. However, they were once again lost in their lives. Then opportunity knocked on all of their doors once more. They now knew their chances of survival and that the game would only have one winner. This is an extreme example of reality, and our lives may not be quite so gruesome. When you are deep asleep and believe that everything is lost, new doors of opportunity may open up. You'll have to work your way through it. Thus, you should bear in mind that when there is a will there is a way. But this will should be guided by hope. Number 6. Smart work versus hard work. We all remember those classmates who seemed to us carefree and even careless about their education, but they excelled in all exams. You might still wonder what was their secret? It was simple. They never did the hardest way. This is possibly the most important lesson I took away from watching the Squid Game. In the game where you have to cut the sugar candy, dalgona, exactly the right way, Jae-hun worked smart and inspired others to do the same. This is by far the best example of clever work that benefited both himself and his fellow participants. People who were engrossed in their own hard work, on the other hand, did not survive the game. Number 7. Be kind. This is the most important lesson I've learned. There are numerous instances of kindness in the series. Jae-hun offers Il-nam his services in the game. The team accepts the addition of a 10th member. Kindness isn't the same as charity. Kindness is an accepting attitude. You have so many chances to be kind in your life. Accept them even if they are inconvenient for you. Help one another. Let your motto in life be, do unto others the way you would like them do unto you, be your motto in life. Number 8. Love comes from the unlikeliest of places. Love can exist between siblings, brothers, sisters, parents, strangers, lovers, and friends. We see love between strangers in the game. Jae-hun was very practical in expressing his affection for several characters in the game. Starting with his mother, moving on to Il-nam and Kang Se-byuk. Despite his attempts to cheat against Cho Sang-woo, he eventually loved him. Ji-young loved Kang Se-byuk and gave up her life for her. She wasn't required to. Love can come from the most unexpected places. The only requirement is that you accept this love with open arms and a clear mind. Number 9. Be patient. Patience wins the race, thus goes the saying. Being patient is the true fruit of your success. In this day and age of instant gratification, having a low time preference gives you a competitive advantage. If you are looking for quick fixes, you may miss out on the true meaning of success. I want the most recent gadget, quick success, and quick riches. Jae-hun instilled in us the value of patience. As a true leader, he believed that giving others opportunities was the right thing to do. And it was this that saved his life until the very end. He was patient and willing to forego short-term validations. We have a lot to learn from him. Indeed, the more we cultivate patience and prudence, the better our life is likely to be. In a nutshell, the series did nothing but reminds us of the Socratic wisdom that on account of the hectic completion that characterizes our modern world, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Number 10. If you want to win, listen. When you're in survival mode, you tend to make snap decisions. This skill meant the difference between life and death in the first game of red light, green light. Listening is done not only with your ears, but also with your soul. This may have an impact on your chances of winning. If you're an entrepreneur, do you pay attention to your competitors? Do you pay attention to emerging technologies that could give you a competitive advantage? Do you listen to your partner without speaking in a relationship? Can you hear their innermost thoughts? Perhaps the most important skill you can cultivate is the ability to recognize the signs of the times in order to be prepared for the future that is upon us. More interestingly, listen to understand, not to reply. I hope these lessons will improve your understanding of the Korean saga and help you lead a happy life that hopefully would be different from the Squid Game. Share your comments and the lessons you've learned in the comments box below. They will certainly help us and help other people.